Hey Cancer. So I have this familiar taste in my mouth, and it's possible that some of you feel this way about this season coming into 2022. It feels maybe slightly familiar for those of you who are getting in touch with the more psyche senses, or just like reflecting, or just in that period where as winter can be this very structured, like knowing that, like especially for those who actually experience winter out there, it's structured in terms of like, you know what you need to do during winter in order to be like at least a little comfortable, and yet you never know what's gonna happen. Like you never know if there's gonna be snow or if the weather's gonna change. And I think the reason why I'm talking about that with you, normally I don't really love the small talk of weather because living in New England, I'm sorry for those of you out there that this offends, but when you live in here, when you live at this in this space for so long, you realize that the weather is always changing, and it just does that. And then, you know, it gets cold in the winter, it gets hot, really hot in the summer, and people love to, you know, talk about that in various different ways. That's okay. So for you, it's maybe this really big shift in, you have this, especially by the full moon, you have this greater sense of what's driving you this year. Because for some of you, wow, the cards really want to be specific. Here we go. You're going to feel compelled to share your experiences, what you've learned, and everything that you're feeling is this, what's guiding this year for you. Everything this month is kind of the beginning to the year and years to come that lie ahead. And what you're possibly experiencing is this powerful surge of clearing out everything that doesn't come along with this part of you. Anything or anyone who isn't along for this ride with you, who isn't willing to listen to the very strongly infused words that you have, values that you've realized, importances, and the people that not only support you, believe in you, hold you down, but even more so in yourself. I think revealing yourself wasn't as hard as you thought it was going to be. And those of you who, especially to the people that it actually matters, and you'll see that more and more because there are lots of people here. There are people willing to listen, very, very strong, intelligent people. But again, these signs are these court cards also very stubborn. So if you're meeting any resistance or frustration in this time, it's possibly not everything is a reflection, but it's asking you how you want to dissolve this by choosing how to handle it. Do you let it get to you? Do you let like one or two people's opinion bother you? Or do you learn to just say, okay, this is just one or two people, regardless of where they stand in my life. I still know where the sun shines. I still know that I want to experience life in the way that I want to do it. I'm feeling different. You're feeling just clearer than maybe you have in a very long time. And anyone who's not seeing and meeting you eye to eye in this moment, that's okay. This month there will be conversations that can be had. You have to realize that there are a lot of power dynamics going on. That's what also these cards show. There's a lot of different power dynamics. There's a lot of different decisions that you're wanting to make moving forward, and you know that your mood influences your decisions. And because you know that, you know when you need to take a break or do something different. Because for some of you, I don't know why, but, and I know this doesn't seem to reflect the cards, but you're gonna have to be talking about like your parents or your grandparents and like setting them up for what's to come next in their life, meaning like death and the long term. And I think this is helping you realize like that you're coming over things, or you're moving through things, and it's helping you move through these things by addressing these situations externally that are also very intimate. Is helping you move through any frustration, residing frustration or anger or anguish or any fear that this past year brought up, or any doubt, any of it. Because regardless if you do feel these things, you still move through your life more, like, very powerfully, right? And this is only going to help propel that. You always have certain values in mind when you're moving forward in your life. And now this subconscious healing is going to help things move quicker. And anyone in your life that isn't happy for you or supportive of you right now, no, it's not because of you, it's because of them. And I know you get this idea, but for some reason that's the one thing that sometimes it's hard for you to stay in that time of happy or joyful or just feeling like life is on your side. You're going to see those people very clearly, but it's because of what they're dealing with in the relationship with their self, the relationship with the people around them, the relationship with, I don't know, it could be anything else. It could be money and their health. So you have to realize this month is bringing that up for everyone. And if you want to address that with someone, it could be a very important part of your relationship. It's very strongly stated here that even if you feel like it's coming from a place of vulnerability, if this past year hasn't showed you anything, that's really what it means to have more of this, to turn this into this. And that's what I'll show you in the cards when we take a look at them in part 2, which will be in a Patreon link below. So essentially here, things move quicker the more you have patience to process. And that means feeling it and without judgment with yourself, because it will come through your feelings or your understandings of these other people's feelings will come through differently when you filter first, and you know that, but now more than ever it's becoming very refined in you, because you're in this goal-oriented mode. And when you're in a goal-oriented mode, you will do what it takes to get there. And even though you get hit or blocked by the same thing, eventually it becomes very clear to you what the situation is. And again, right now, when you're addressing what you're taking personal, or addressing, even if it's just with yourself, could really change a lot of different avenues in your life right now. Because coming into the month, 3 of Pentacles, King of Wands, Ace of Swords is like, I don't have time for bullshit right now. And any power dynamics that are meeting you head on is an easy way to just like cut it out and just like cut the fat right there, which is only going to make you feel stronger and more capable, which is so cool. Yeah. Okay. So the second part, we'll look at the cards and I'll go through them with you, and that will be in a Patreon link below from now on. And I hope you have a great rest of your Capricorn season, Cancer. I'll see you next month.